What's up, everyone? This is Jake, and you are watching No Pain, High Gain, where my goal with this channel is to take some of the pain out of finding the right high gain guitar gear, specifically to suit your needs. So we're going to be starting off today with a demo of what has been my current go-to amp for about the last year, the Engl Fireball 25. So today for this demo, I'm going to be playing through my Jackson DKRA MJ Series Dinky. It currently has Seymour Duncan Black Winter pickups in it, and it is currently tuned down a full step, so tuned to D standard. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of the specs of the amp. I'm not going to go through everything. I assume if you could type Engl Fireball 25 into the search bar of YouTube, you probably can read user manual as well. But some of the highlights, as the name implies, it's a 25 watt amp. It does, however, have full-size 6L6 power tubes, so it does not have EL84s or 6V6s, so you do have full-size power tubes, which to me is a really cool feature because some of those smaller tubes don't always work quite as well, especially when pushed up to volume. And so it is a 2-channel amp, has a clean and a high gain channel. They do share the EQ section, so that's something that you'll find on a lot of these smaller amp heads. You don't have an independent EQ, which is kind of a downside, but is what it is. It has a mid boost, it has a built-in noise gate, and it does have a built-in power soak where you can switch it to half power, low power, and even turn the speaker off and record without the need for an external load. So all cool features there, but I'm going to jump right into the tones. Even though this is a predominantly high gain channel, I do want to do the amp justice and give you a quick look into the clean channel as well. So yeah, here's that. I'm going to start off on the neck pickup in the split coil mode. Then we'll go to the bridge pickup split coil mode. You can hear that. So to me, the clean channel sounds pretty good. You can get a nice, true clean sound out of it. Even on the bridge pickup there, once you go to the humbucker mode, these are really high output pickups. So it does start to have just that little bit of edge to it. But that is with the gain at just over 9 o'clock. All the EQ right now is set to noon. I don't know how well you can see it from here. But so just to give you a little bit of a glimpse of what the channel can do. So if you push the gain up, let's say to noon. It's kind of getting into that, classic rock territory. I feel like it sounds a little bit flubby for my taste, but again, I am tuned to D standard, and these are really high output pickups, so not exactly what you'd pick for playing AC/DC or something like that. If we push the gain up even more. So again, sounds okay for that kind of stuff. Wouldn't be my personal choice for an amp for classic rock, but I feel like if you have some lower output pickups, maybe even a Strat or something, if you're going for some more old school tones, the clean channel here does have a fair bit of gain that you can get it from that true clean up to more of like a hard rock breakup. So that's all the time I'm going to spend on the clean channel. We're going to jump right over to the lead channel. You can foot switch for this, but the foot switch does not come with it, and it's pretty expensive on its own. So for my needs, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So the lead channel, I'll show it to you first without a boost or anything, everything at noon. Then I'll dial it in a little bit more, show it to you with a boost. That's kind of how I prefer it. But the other thing to note, the volume for the lead channel is more of like how you balance the volume of the clean and lead. So the master volume affects both of them. The lead volume only affects the lead channel. So if you turn up the master volume, you then have to compensate by turning down the lead volume if you want to balance out the clean and the lead channels. So just something to note there. We'll see the lead volume is set pretty low. The master is the same place it was for the clean channel. Probably bring it up a little bit more. So not a bad sound to start off with. Again, for kind of a hard rock, non-boosted tone. Sounds pretty decent there. I will say this amp to me always sounds pretty dark. So two things, it also has a mid boost switch. I pretty much always keep that engaged. So you can hear how it sounds real quick. It's been a minute since I've played any of those 80s riffs, so apologize that sucked. And anyway, so I already like the sound of it a bit more. If you prefer having, less mids in your tone, you could leave that off. Again, I personally prefer it with it engaged, but up to you and what you're looking for. So that is with the gain at noon. Again, all the EQs at noon. I'll bring the gain down so you can see kind of where it starts out. I tried it like 9 o'clock. Again, like quite a bit of gain right off the bat. Again, bumping it up to noon. Sounds pretty good there. Like plenty of gain already. We bump it up a bit higher. Like plenty of gain for my needs. Personally, it doesn't sound quite as tight as I would like it to. I'm going to start bringing up the mids and the treble quite a bit. That's where the amp really starts to open up. I definitely recommend dialing in with your ears more than your eyes on this. So already it sounded really good to me here. Still feel like could use a little bit more like tightness in the low end just to get it really like thrashy sounding, which is what I'm into. So I'm going to bring the gain back down a bit, and I'm going to kick in my overdrive. I have a JHS 3 Series. It's kind of like a Tube Screamer knockoff. It's their 3 Series Screamer pedal. Pretty typical overdrive settings. The gain turned all the way down. The level about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and the tone is just a little over halfway up, just to add a little bit more, in your face kind of sound. So it's pretty similar to how I would normally have it dialed in for a rhythm sound. I'd maybe bump the presence up a little bit more. Again, just especially in a band context, I found that even when it's just me and a drummer, I find that you kind of start to get lost a little bit. So on this amp, it has a darker voicing. Bringing up some of those mids and highs really does help it kind of cut through a bit better. Just my personal taste. I like a really in-your-face kind of forward sound. So we can go ahead and hear that. So sounds pretty good to me. Again, it's always going to be a little bit different when you're sitting next to the amp than standing like directly in front of it or something. Let's play a couple more riffs. I'll give you kind of a taste if you are into more of the scoop sound, that you're more into Metallica or something like that. And so same EQ settings, but with the mid boost off. So, I mean, if you're looking for that really scooped kind of old school Metallica tone, or more of like a true death metal kind of tone, something like that, definitely can get that sound really easily. I'm going to bring this back up. Let's see, what do I actually remember how to play off the top? Yeah, so anyway, that's kind of how I typically have it set up. Again, it is something where I'd say the EQ controls do a lot. So it's not one of those amps where you can turn the EQ all the way one direction or the other and it kind of doesn't do much. This does have a very usable EQ section. Again, plenty of gain. Just under noon right now. Say we bump that up more. So, you know, and that's still only just around 1 or 2 o'clock, has tons of gain. Say we push it up even further. So again, tons of gain on tap. I personally like it a little bit lower when I have the overdrive engaged. And then let's kind of dial in a little bit more of a lead sound. I will actually bump the gain up just a little bit for the sake of that. Maybe bring the presence down a little bit, bring a little bit more bass in, something like that. So still a little too much high end for my taste. I'm gonna bring both the treble and the presence down. Okay. Well, I'm definitely not warmed up enough to play leads right now, so I'm going to quit embarrassing myself. That is the Engl Fireball 25. Hope you enjoyed the video. I am definitely going to start putting out some more here soon. So if you enjoyed it, please make sure to subscribe so you can catch some upcoming videos. And if you have anything specific you'd like to see, please leave that in the comments as well. But I hope you all have a good one.